But I was sort of saying too in that Craig Madrid article, uh, is it something where, hey, hero, gotta let this dog out, but is something where we really need for decisions like this with the neff thing. If we can't point to a rule or a data point or a metric or policy for the race organization, is it something where we need to go back to like the real the blood, the sweat, the soul, and the roots and the DNA of a community like the mushing community and say, hey, let's let the actual people who grew up in the mushing community, who are second generation or third generation mushers, make a decision in terms of denying neff or allowing neff to race, so that we can have something we can appreciate and we can acknowledge the history and the heritage of this sport. Can we go back even to the indigenous community and some of the some of the natives, but more just than that, like let's ask let's ask Timmy Osmark, let's ask Dallas Seavey, let's ask Rowan Boozer, let's ask Jeff King's daughters, or maybe not Jeff King's daughters, you know what I mean? But the people who were out there still on the trail mushing, you know what I mean? Or even myself, it's something like I grew up. My dad was a musher. You know what I mean? I mushed as a little kid in high school and middle school. Yes, there were pictures of me, as a toddler, as a 2-year-old with one dog, hooked to a little sled. And I grew up going back and forth with a couple buckets in my hands, feeding and taking care of dogs. I didn't grow up, coming from Europe like Hans got or Martin Boozer, or coming from California like Jeff King, or even guys like Butcher and Susan Butcher and Rick Swenson or Dijon Rowe. All these guys, they're coming into this and they're chasing fame and glory. They weren't part of it with mud on their boots and calluses on their hands, and and the dirt, the sweat, the blood, the tears. They don't really have that intergenerational, I think, respect and appreciation for what the community, the faith, the family elements and values that the sport is about. So I would like to turn back to that intergenerational element and to those second and third generation mushers, and not have it be about the guys in a boardroom for the race, or about a race marshal who lives on Jeff King's land and the corruption issues there, to make a decision like the decision for Hugh Neff. I think it should be something that goes back to the real sense of community and the legacy and the tradition of of this sport and living off the land, and and to make those decisions. And